After building a house for every biome, I was left with a thought. What should come next? And for a couple of days running around endlessly in the lands of Valheim, I had no idea. Until I passed by an altar, and that's when it finally hit me. Just hear me out. What if I build around every boss altar and use the structure as the main component for the building? It seemed like a wonderful idea for the next video. I even had a vision for the first project and came up with a suitable name for the first build. So I named it the Eikthyrs.
Don't you dare! I am warning you.
Donut. The Eikthyrs donut. By the way, if you're enjoying the things that I make and the things that I build, be sure to subscribe. I'm still reaching for the 1000 sub goals, and I need your help. So thank you in advance, and let's get back to building. On today's list is to transform this pile of rocks into something more suitable for our needs. And by our needs, I mean an awesome home. Let's start as everyone does, by leveling the ground. That should do it. And to start our building, grab some wooden stairs and make something like this, to mark the center of the build. Then, put a 1 meter beam to mark the center for each stairs, and add 5 2-meter beams to all the sides. And if you can't get through the rock, just go around it. Looks interesting enough? And to mark the outline, place 3 2-meter beams from both sides like so. And 4 beams in between, connecting inside each other. Repeat this to all the sides. Every stone will serve a purpose in this build. Now for the main frame for this build. 4 meters will be enough. Just don't forget to turn the poles around. Then connect it all together. Now for the shape of the roof. As the title goes, it will have a hole in the middle. Grab some 26-degree beams and connect them to the main path. 2 of them will be enough. Then a 2-meter beam and another 26-degree. You will require a temporary support in order to hold the roof for now. And for the last roof piece, just repeat this to all 4 sides. When that's done, add some more beams to get that roof turning. I'll show you the whole thing. The additional beams should face the same side as the main ones that are closest to them. And add only a single 26-degree beam here. Replicate this to all the sides. You should end up with something looking like this. Then add some more beams to get that extra support. I do love the shingled roof more than thatch, but you can make it however you want, the choice is yours. Starting with the odd number of beams, The roof should poke itself just over the sides. After filling the first layer, get on top of the roof. It's much easier this way. The second layer is similar to the first one. The roof can poke its face a little through the corner, but it's fine. Now here is where you will need the most patience that you can get. Pick a shingle roof ridge and try to connect it to the top of the second layer. Start with one side. And place the next side so it seems connected to the previous one. It could get annoying sometimes, so be patient. You should end up with a perfect circle. Yeah, if you can call that a circle. As for the inside parts of the roof, build a 3-meter square from beams in the middle. And connect them together. This will be our chimney. So connect the roof all the way down to the beams. Then attach the last beams together. Could do it easier, but to those who didn't watch my previous video, here's a backstory. I have a chaotic mind and I make things the way I see fit. Maybe not logical, but by the end everything comes together perfectly. And for the last layer. The only thing that is left is to fill the empty space with some 1x1 floor tiles. That should do the trick. And to prevent the chimney from extinguishing, we'll build a small tower on top of it. I find the dark wood arch is the best fit for the style of the build. A 1-meter temporary beam. As well, I place some iron cages in the arches to get some depth and texture. The roof is finished. Now let's start making some walls. To bring some extra depth to the build, I've placed a layer of beams on the inside. Starting with the 3 beams corners, first beams for each corner are placed manually. As for the walls, the 6 meters layout will be our main window. I will place my walls outwards. It makes the compositions a bit more interesting. Replicate this frame to all of the 6-meter corners. One of the widest parts will be our entrance. I'm placing the door manually in the middle and building a frame for it. And filling the empty spaces with 1x1 walls. All that's left to cover up the empty spaces. To bring depth to the build, let's make some custom columns. Take out 2 beams from the bottom, we will replace them later. Then, pick a 1-meter pole and place it manually on the side or the center of the beam. The first layer is manually placed. Most of you know how to do this, but to those who don't, I'll show you the whole thing. To build all the pillars, it takes time and patience, but trust me, it's worth it. As for the windows, just watch, everything speaks out for itself. The iron cages are placed manually as well. Add some glass to it and it will look perfect. And for the entrance, by adding some 1x1s and some pillars, we can make it even more dynamic. The build is almost finished, just a couple of minor adjustments and we're ready to go. As well, I've created a small overhang by adding crosses to the edges of the roof to make it shorter and connecting them all together. Some of the corners won't connect properly, but by adding a 1 meter beam we can seal the edges. And a 1 meter to the end of the crosses. Fill the empty spaces with some roof tiles and replace the cross with a 26-degree beams. Or you can just leave the crosses, it looks awesome both ways. As for the inside, I made some custom adjustments to the pillars by the campfire. Placed the floor and made an outline for every stone. Except the biggest one. I'll show you how it looks later on in the video. And the moment of truth. Let's see how it looks on the inside after some minor adjustments. And don't mind the wall, I've got a bit carried away with decorating the place. But it's just me, I can get easily distracted. I've added glass and some pillars under the small balconies to give that sense of stability. As well, gave some depth to the empty wall. And forgot to press record. Hope you forgive me. But if you wanna see more details on the build, hit me with a comment. I will include them more in the next video. As you can see, every corner here serves a different purpose. And the stone divides them as an invisible wall. Here is all you ever need. from a small crafting corner to a cozy bedroom. And a heavy/magical equipment corner as well. And that's about it. This build took some time, but it came out even better than I expected. And what are your thoughts on this video? Let me know in the comments. I wanted to say thank you for watching and for all the support. And I'll see you soon in the next one.